Something dark is coming.
Hi, my name's Tony Goff. I'm a composer, multi-instrumentalist, one-man band, label owner, straight edge, a lot of stuff. So welcome to the Jellyfish Manifesto.
Yes. We'll have to edit this part out, obviously.
I mean, yeah. So let me just say before we really get started, don't lose your like awkward charm because it's, and you can leave this in. That's what works for you guys, man. Like I'm being very serious. If you guys got all professional, like it wouldn't be. I don't know. It wouldn't be. So like it's Yes, I was like 10 minutes into Dwayne's episode, and I was like, oh, I got to do this. These guys are awesome. Because you seem like guys I'd hang out with, like, and you know, and like the conversation seems like what conversation we would just be having in general. Yeah. But there's like that awkwardness there where I'm just like, because I'm surprised I did that as well as I did. Just let me know.
No, you did a good job. You did a good job.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
The Australian box jellyfish is the most venomous marine animal. The sting can cause heart failure, paralysis, or respiratory arrest within 5 minutes. So if you're swimming in the northern coastline of Australia, you should wear a wetsuit.
Wow. Why is that your favorite fact?
I love it.
That is your favorite?
It's such a deadly animal. It's crazy. Because if you get stung too far away from the beach, you're not getting the antidote in time. The lifeguards have to carry box jellyfish antidote on them.
That is crazy.
And then if there's like a swarm of...
In like their trunks?
I think they have like a first aid kit.
They have to open it. Yeah. Dwayne somewhere.
Wow.
But like in the jellyfish season in Australia, there's points where you can't swim on that beach because a swarm of jellyfish will be in. So they take it very seriously, but it's a very dangerous animal.
Where was that in the fact? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late.
You said on the earth? It's the most venomous thing on the earth?
For the marine animals, yeah. So it's the most venomous animal in the ocean. Wow. Is the box jellyfish.
No idea. I would not have guessed that.
It also has a lot of eyes. That's a different fact, but it has like 20 eyes, yeah.
What?
Yeah, the box jellyfish.
I didn't know jellyfish had eyes.
Some jellyfish do.
Where's their eyes located?
It's like around the jellyfish. You can't see it
Point
very well.
Its eyes.
That's a different type of jellyfish. So some jellyfish have no eyes.
Oh, okay.
And then some have like 20 eyes.
Jellyfish are famous for having no organs.
Yeah,
so
that's what
eyes make sense.
But they have nerves and stuff.
Yeah, but no organs.
But there's little like black dots on the box jellyfish. Those are eyes.
Weird.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder why that species needs eyes, but like this species doesn't need eyes.
I don't know. It's weird.
That is weird.
Attack you faster.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
This is Australia. I mean,
it is
Australia. Australia freaks me out, man.
Honestly, I just wouldn't swim in Australia.
No. I got an open water phobia that I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm not swimming in any ocean, but especially in Yeah. Dayton, Ohio musician gets eaten by a new species of jellyfish. News at 11. That would be me 100%. Like, no.
Hey, we'd be all over that too. So
yeah, exactly. That's true.
That'd be our next fact.
Yeah.
I mean,
there we go. That would actually be kind of cool. That'd be kind of
That's how you segue into it. A famous, like a jellyfish guest got eaten by a jellyfish.
That'll put us on the news.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this probably won't be included, but why the jellyfish thing?
Eric picked
it's random.
Yeah.
In like you picked it.
Yeah.
Well, then why are you the one doing the facts?
Because
I like facts.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's just because it's a very interesting animal. Each jellyfish is way different than any other jellyfish.
How many different species?
I think there's like a couple hundred types of jellyfish.
Oh, okay.
There were jellyfish in the Ohio River at one time, I guess.
No, there's jellyfish in the Great Lakes.
Still.
Yeah,
there's only one
salt water.
Yeah, there's only one species of saltwater jellyfish. It came over from China. Nobody knows how it got to the U.S., but there's a few lakes in the United States with jellyfish in them.
Weird, I didn't know that.
That are freshwater.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's just they're an interesting animal, and we're interviewing interesting people.
Well,
so
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. That is a good way to sum it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of awkwardness,
No, it's cool. See, this is the good part.
Yeah.
Awkward.
where did the name idiedtrying come from? And how would you explain it to people who haven't heard of you before?
Okay. Never been asked this question before. That's actually pretty good. Usually, a lot of times, it's answering the same questions over and over.
We try to be unique.
Yeah. There you go. So I started the band with a drummer. It was me and a drummer in 2002, and it's as generic as it sounds. He had a list of names, possible names, whether they be song names, band names, whatever, on a sheet of paper, and I just was like, oh, I like that one. That's honestly where it came from. But the reason I picked it was because I like the alliteration. I think that's the right word. The alliteration of it, the I, die, try, I thought sounded cool. I wanted whatever the name to be to combine, if it was a 3-syllable thing, I wanted to combine it to where it looked like one word with the period at the end. I just thought that was cool anyways. And once I saw it on paper and I wrote it that way on paper, I thought it was cool. So it was like, yeah, it's kind of weird that it's become what it's become with people having tattoos and all the meaning and stuff behind it. But it was honestly just that. It was honestly just that simple. Like he had a list of names, and it was like, that's the one that jumped out to me. It was like, hey, that's cool. And then with the IDT, 'cause a lot of times when I put IDT with the period at the end, that's a lot of people type it out that way. But what was the other part of the question? Like, why did I pick that name? I mean,
It was for the people who haven't heard of you before. Like, how would you explain it to them?
okay. So, it's great question. That's a whole other thing about it that I was kind of not really aware of when I picked the name is there's a lot of folklore with it now because it's been 24 years, but I like the finality of it to where it's past tense technically. But yeah, I would say that how that relates to the music or to what I do sonically, or what we did now, what I do sonically, is I like the fact that when you hear it, it doesn't sound like a generic metal band name or like a hardcore band name or just like a experimental. It's kind of genreless sounding. And again, if you combine it to where it looks like one word, you put the period at the end, and then my logos don't look like sloppy metal crushed ant font logos. You guys know what I'm talking about? You ever seen where you can't read them? Yeah. So I grew up in the 90s, and I was like, loved Florida death metal and loved all that kind of stuff. So, and I had a bunch of shirts, that had logos that most people would not know what they say. But now it's gotten to the point where it's just like, it looks like the carpet texture is their logo. It's like, I don't, so that was honestly like, that was a big part of picking it too, was I felt like it's a little dark, but it's also kind of a little inspiring and all that kind of stuff. But how would I say it relates to it as far as musically or whatever, or what it does is, I think the fact that it doesn't have a direct, obvious connotation like Cannibal Corpse, and I like Cannibal Corpse, but you know what I mean? Like with a name like that, it's like you kind of know what you're going to get. With this name, you kind of don't know what you get, because like we wanted genreless kind of from the beginning. Yes, we went metal, hardcore, and experimental and all those kind of things, but the soulfulness and everything of it was always kind of the most important part, at least to me, especially now that it's just me. And yeah, so like I like the statement of it, and I like the fact that you don't know. So that's kind of the thing about it is, so the answer to that part of your question is, the intrigue of not knowing is kind of the point, which hopefully would draw somebody in, Right. And then again, if you see the logo, it's like all my logos are different. They don't look like a regular logo, like a metal or hardcore logo, So it's like, so that pulls people in to go in. Like, so if I'm on a flyer with a bunch of other logos and stuff, mine's going to stick out because it doesn't look like generic metal, AI generated logo, or there was a thing for a while where it was like you input like your first name, last name, and birthday, and it would give you like a grindcore band name. And it was always like silly stuff and then a silly logo, it's like, so yeah, so that's.
Oh, that is interesting.
You know what's really interesting? The fact that you can watch the more intense version of this show on the post show on our Patreon.
Ka-chow.
Link in the description.
Hey guys, the Jellyfish Manifesto is going to be on Patreon. From now on, every guest will have a Manifesto episode. So if you want to see me every other week, head over to Patreon. It'll be $3 a month.
That's a long-winded answer as to why, but yeah. So
Say, like, especially the way you have it wrote out and everything, you could easily like look at it and think, oh, this is like a pop artist.
yeah,
You know.
and that's all by design. Yeah. That's 100% by design because you don't necessarily know.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's really cool.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's something that was, nothing that I do is I don't wing anything. There's a lot of thought process and deciding what to do, what not to do, how I want to present it, how I don't. Because even though like for the first 11 years I had band members, I always drove that part of the project. It was always, I did all the artwork and the visual representation of it was always me. So that was always something that like I spent a lot of time making sure of. It's like you said, you wouldn't know looking at it. And like my new record, the new logo that I'm using now is actually a reworked version of the video store, the mom and pop video store that I grew up. That was it's like a block away from my house. I took their logo from the 80s and reworked it, and that's actually my logo now. So it's just because it's film and stuff is as important to me as music. Actually, probably even more so. Like film inspires me to create music more than music inspires me to create music. So having that tie in. Plus, I like nostalgia, man. So. But yeah. So great question so far.
Yeah,
Great
I was
question
going to
so far.
bring up one of the questions that I wrote down that I don't have my phone out right now. You have some really well shot music videos.
Thank
What's
you.
that process like?
So I shoot everything with this phone right here.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And yeah, you guys are talking about like your fancy cameras and
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. I have no cameras. I do everything with. So the one music video where it's like a drone shot of me and I'm out in the field. Now that one I didn't film. My friend Gary, shout out to Gary. He shot that stuff with the drone, and then there's some playground footage he shot with his camera. He has like I wish I could. It's not a Sony Red camera, but it's something. It's. I remember the one fact about his camera that always stuck with me was it's approved to film stuff that would be released on Netflix.
Yeah.
So there's I guess there's a baseline for but
I think the iPhone 16 reached that point too. Or
No
was it the
kidding.
15? Yeah.
man,
think
that
so.
is wild.
Yeah, you got approved
Yeah.
from Netflix.
Wow, that is wild.
It really
Isn't that
is.
crazy? So that's the thing, so everything else you've seen, and actually like my older videos, I kind of leaned into like the VHS kind of thing a little bit, and that's actually an older phone. That wasn't
Yeah.
even like this phone, which is shoots in 8. I can do 8K and stuff in this phone, but yeah, and then I edit everything. I shoot, except for Field Day Participant, I filmed everything, and I it's all me. I don't have any outside anybody
Yeah.
that does anything.
So while we're on this topic, I mean,
Yeah.
I just started college this week for film and TV production.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Awesome. What school are you going to?
Full Sail?
So my friend Dan graduated from Full Sail like 15 so years ago and
That's
worked
awesome.
and worked. He moved to Louisiana and he worked in film and stuff, and he worked on like 21 Jump Street and all kinds.
really?
Yeah, he worked
That's
on a bunch of
cool.
movies and stuff. It's weird though. He ended up in the sound department, which wasn't like his. I don't think it was his goal, but like that's where he ended up. And he worked on, man, like American Horror Story, like all kinds of stuff. He did a lot of
that's
stuff.
awesome.
So yeah, I've always heard great stuff about Full Sail, man. That is awesome.
Yeah.
How long is the program?
7 months.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was like really short and you get out with a
Yeah.
degree. So that is
is
cool.
nice.
Yeah. What's your plan with that? I don't know if this is going to be included, but what's your plan with that?
Part of this, and then also my body can't really handle factory work anymore.
Gotcha, dude.
So I'm trying to get out
You
of
guys are
that.
how old?
29.
Yeah, I'm 29.
Are you joking me? Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
So I started idiedtrying when you guys were in kindergarten. Legitimately. Yeah. I've been playing shows. So what year were you born?
1996.
That's
Yeah.
when I graduated high school, guys. Oh my God. But no, that is awesome. Yeah, Full Sail, man, it's a really cool thing to have in your pocket, man, as far as like trying to get jobs and stuff like that. Yeah, because Dan flourished in that world. He ended up now he sells like vintage toys and stuff.
Really?
He did like a 90-degree. Yeah, he was on like Pawn Stars and was like trying to sell like a figure, like a I think it was like an Andre Agassi, like unpainted, like test figure or something. Yeah, so he's kind of went into that. And I don't know that he does anything with the film and production stuff, but it's legit, bro. It is legit, man. So that's really cool, man. So that's you're going to bring that into this world, and that's
hopefully,
cool.
like upgrade our content, and I don't know if you saw, but we're also working on other shows.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I've been seeing your posts and stuff.
So we're trying to make it into like a legit media company.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's totally possible.
Yeah.
You know, not far fetched.
Shoot a couple movies and stuff, which segues into my next thing. You do have a movie out. Two,
and I have a third one that I'm working on.
Okay.
So yeah. Well, so I don't know which one you're going to ask about. The concert film.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we saw a little bit of that before you got here.
Yeah.
We watched part of it.
Okay.
And is that process a lot different than like your music videos, or is it a similar process?
Very similar process. I mean, you guys edit video and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, it's just you take the footage that's shot and you edit it. Now with editing music videos, at least especially the way that I edit, because I have no schooling in this at all. I'm just winging it. Like literally, like I never even had a guitar lesson. So I've just always I've just kind of learned it on my own. And so with music videos, there's a lot more cuts and a lot more effects and a lot more style driven. Whereas like, you know, if somebody's watching a concert film, it's like, you don't want to have like, you know, 8 cuts in 3 seconds or whatever, because people are trying to watch the, you know, so, but the overall process is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. I mean, honestly, the concert film was, I edited that in 2017. And at that point I had never edited a music video myself. So that was actually the first thing I had edited like stuff that's on my screens on stage and stuff, but as far as something that was filmed and like raw footage and done that was like my first thing. So, I imagine, you know, you will probably be able to speak on this like after you get your degree and stuff, but like, I imagine that there's a different process from one to the other. I just am ignorant to that, so I don't really know. So I kind of just do it all kind of the same. So I also have my Nosferatu is out. So I took the 1922 Nosferatu, recut it, and then scored the entire film because it's a silent film. That's my other film.
That might have been what we watched. Yeah. No.
Both.
Watched a little bit of both.
Watched a little bit of both.
Okay, that's fine.
Because we found it on
Prime.
Tubi.
Yeah. So Nosferatu's on Prime. Well, my concert film is too, but it's Nosferatu's only on Prime, and then Tubi is my concert film and stuff. So yeah. So and I'm working on another concert film from my record release show from last May. I'm working on it now. I've had a lot of things slow me down. I wanted to already have it out by now, but yeah. So I have that. I already have the streaming stuff lined up, so it'll hit all this. It's actually going to hit more streaming platforms than my first one did. Hopefully, at least it's looking that it's going to do that way. So yeah. The process is pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, pretty much exactly. Honestly, like I said, concert film stuff's easier because the shots are longer. You know, it's not so style driven.
Yeah, you can do just continuous shots.
Yeah. Because you know, I line everything up, sync to the music, and cut, pick shot, and you just, you know, it's pretty easy, man. It's honestly pretty easy. So, but yeah.
So, how do you get your ideas and stuff for the music videos?
So this could be a long one. I'll try to keep it short. I my entire life, when I hear music, I see stuff in my head. So, and not necessarily, it's not that like when I write a song, I don't necessarily see the music video in my head, but I kind of can see colors and style and like those kind of things. So without getting really long-winded, that's pretty much it. So like, I don't get in the way of myself. So like for me, it's like when I'm working on music, especially since I do everything by myself, I just get in like a flow state where I try everything, and certain things I keep, certain things I don't, and that's kind of the same way with that. So yeah. So I don't know if that really answers your question. Okay. Yeah. So it's like so Field Day Participant, for example, which is the one where I'm in the field with the drone and stuff. That I kind of, and then like everybody with the weirdo masks and the playground, that I kind of did see. ahead of time. Whereas like the music video that's coming out tomorrow, I stumbled into the style. So there's not really, it's not like a set exact. I don't, everything is different when I, every process can be a little bit different.
Storyboard it out beforehand so you know exactly what you want to go into?
No, nope. As a matter of fact, since a lot of my music videos, I'm shooting literally myself, I can't even see what I'm filming. So you can't really, I know like I want the shot to look like this and I'll set the shot up and stuff. But a lot of times like I'll hit the phone with my guitar on accident. And it's like that ends up being the coolest shot in the video. So then I, like stuff like that, happy accidents. Yeah, man, that sums up the entirety of my career is happy mistakes. Yeah. So, but no, I don't do any storyboarding. Like so I have a notepad in my phone and I'll write stuff out. Like, have this look, like, and I'll use like an old film or just something like stylistically. And it's weird because if you see my notes for something and you see the finished product, you go like, I don't see the connection, but I do. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, because for me, it's always about style. Like I'm always searching for like a style and not being schooled in this. A lot of times with like when you're in Premiere, it's probably the same way with DaVinci and stuff too. When you see effects, they're labeled weird stuff. It's like, what does this even do? Yeah. So you drag and drop to even see, and then it's like, oh, that's amazing.
I mean, that's really the best way to figure things out. Though.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I've done. I mean, that's how I've learned everything I've ever done, from Photoshop to like because I use Reaper for all my audio stuff, and then Photoshop or Adobe Premiere for all my video editing. Like. It's all trial and error and see what I like. And, like the video that's coming out tomorrow, the look of it doesn't exist. Like I stumbled on a certain way to layer the footage with effects and the colors and stuff. And you'll see it once it comes out and you understand what I mean. But that like was a total accident. And I ran with it because I loved it. I thought it looked really cool. It's like, oh, this is, and it looks different than everything else I've done, so, because that's always a thing. I try not to repeat myself. It's like, I've already done this. So, I don't want to do it again. If not, because, some people just are happy repeating themselves. And it's like, I'm not, it's not, it gets boring, it gets boring for the person watching and listening, but it gets really boring for the person creating it if you're just doing the same thing over and over again.
That's why we changed some things up with Jellyfish too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we have to put guests in between that don't do the exact same thing.
Really?
Because we can have like 3 painters in a row, and it's like, I don't want to keep talking about paintings.
Yeah, fair.
It's really easy to get someone that, because you know for a fact there's a million of photographers out there. Yeah. There's
everybody is one now, kind of.
Yeah. I'm a photographer.
That's what I mean. Everybody kind of is now. Well, especially you talk about Netflix approved cameras on phones. Well, then everybody's really a photographer. But if you're interviewing 4 photographers in a row. Or like you said, 3 in a row or something, it's...
I mean, there's only so many times we can ask someone what their favorite camera is. So,
yeah. If we wanted to, we could easily have 3 or 4 months of having only guests that are painters or photographers.
Really?
Yeah.
Easily.
It's a lot of people.
The painters kind of surprised me, though. I wouldn't have thought that.
We've just had, 4 or 5 of them now?
Really?
There's a big community around here with painting.
Okay.
Music festivals where they host live painting and everything.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've seen that before. That is cool.
They're really cool people.
Have you guys interviewed anybody that does like the big murals and stuff like that too?
One of our guests did a really big mural for a business around here that was really cool. They did like a bunch of palm leaves and stuff, so it was nice.
And,
yeah.
And I think Autumn might have done a mural too.
I think she said she wanted to get more into it, but she's probably done 1 or 2.
See,
I think Anna's done one.
That always blows my mind because I'm like, how do you, when you're up there on like a trellis or whatever, how do you know to scale how big this? That is amazing to me.
But now it's so much easier though.
Oh, it is?
Because all they need is the Apple VR goggles, and then they can project it. And
the people we have interviewed,
that's like hearing Santa Claus is fake, kind of a little bit, because I never thought about that.
Yeah, you can get glasses that will. It's pretty much tracing. But I don't think the people we've interviewed have used that yet.
Have used that, yeah.
But a lot of
because that's cheating. That to me, that would be cheating. Because the art is trying to. Yeah, that's wow. I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's a big thing right now. I've seen a lot of videos of people doing it like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But I could see like if you do a whole bunch of those in a row, it's kind of like.
So what caused the break that you had? And what was the thought of coming back?
Which one? The most recent one?
Yeah, the most like.
So, I put everything I had. This is where this is going to take a turn. So I put everything I have into this. Like I've never been married. I don't have kids. I struggle with money because this has always been my focus. I have an amazing girlfriend. I have amazing friends. Don't get me wrong. But this has always been my focus, and I'm getting old, man. I mean, we just talked about it. Like you were born the year I graduated high school, and I've been playing shows since I was playing shows 3 years before you were born. Like, it's a long time. And then doing everything by yourself, man, it's really difficult. I mean, it's very rewarding, but it's very, very difficult. And I went through financial issues, and I had to have heart surgery a couple years ago, about a year and a half ago now. And just kind of life was kind of looming over me. I don't have like it's like don't have a retirement fund, and it's like I'm getting older, and I'm really bad at I'm my own worst critic to a detrimental level. I was just like, okay, my most recent record, which came out last May, I felt like this is I couldn't end this better than this. And the song that closes that record is a sequel to the song that I've been closing with the entirety of idiedtrying. So it felt like a bookend. It was just, but I don't, this isn't just something I do. It's who I am, like all my friends, with the exception of my best friend, almost all my friends that I talk to on a daily basis, I know because I know through music, through going to shows or whatever. It gets hard, the pressure that I put on myself, because I don't play a lot of shows. I only do a handful of shows a year. But I train for a show like a fight. I rehearse very hard. And I take a lot of, like, if you stand behind a microphone, and this is they're gonna get a little heavy probably, but there's a lot of responsibility behind this. If you are, whether you're amplifying your voice through a PA or you're speaking through this and you have people in Russia hearing it, like we just talked about, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And I don't take that lightly at all. It's very important to me. And there's a responsibility for me that I put on myself, that when I stand behind a microphone, I can't be dishonest. I can't not be 110% me. And I owe it to somebody who's spending the time to be with me, whether it's watching me at a show, listening to my music, watching my music videos, hearing me on a podcast, whatever. I owe them 110%. And that is really hard when you're 48 years old. My body's not what it used to be. And I can still play as good as I ever could. I think I'm better than I ever have been. My voice especially, I feel like, is the best it's ever been. I think I'm writing the best songs I've ever written. But it's just, I second guess myself. And, we're probably, like you said, we're going to talk about wrestling later on. So Ric Flair, I'll use Ric Flair as an example. In the 90s, Ric Flair was going through, he was in his 40s, and he was going through a lot of, didn't believe in himself anymore, blah, blah, blah. And like Triple H, like shook him and was like, the only person that doesn't know you're Ric Flair is you. You know what I mean? Like everybody else knows it,
Isn't that when they came out with Evolution?
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's just like, you guys will understand when you're going to get a little bit older, and it's going to be, you're going to second guess things, and you're going to like, and life and death is looming always. That's a whole other thing, man. It's like, I've had so many people pass away, and I'm the oldest person in my family now. Like, I have, both my parents are gone, no grandparents, no brothers and sisters. Everybody's gone. I have cousins, but they're all younger than me. And it's, it's just, it gets difficult. I use a backpack analogy in some of my lyrics, and I do grief counseling and stuff for some people, and I always use a backpack analogy, and it gets hard carrying all this weight around a lot of times, and as you get older and, it's you feel like you're slipping off, even if you're not slipping off. And, but I just have a chip on my shoulder that I can't quit. And that's just kind of what it comes down to, is just like, I Died Trying isn't a band name. It is a way of life for me. It is a mantra for me. And like, it's not I died trying until I was 48. It's I died trying. That means I have to do this till I die. I have to be who I am until I die. And that's what I'm going to continue doing.
I've never like completely understood and agreed with something I guess has said until today. So
say that again. You've never what?
Completely understood or agreed with something that I guess has said, because I'm the same way. We went through with the whole Razoo thing before, and then a bunch of stuff happened, and I was working like 72 hours a week at work and stuff, so it disappeared. And then I just hit a really bad depressed low. I was like, we have got to figure out a way to bring this back, because that was the happiest part of my life. So.
That's it. Yeah. So you fully understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You fully understand what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, who would I be if I wasn't doing any of this anymore? Who am I then?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's so ingrained. It's who I am. It's not just something I do. And so that's.
We're covering all the pre-made questions without even looking at the questions.
That's a good thing, probably, right? Good. Okay. What'd you say? Did it?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good, though. That's good.
But no, I have so much respect for those musicians that are still doing it at like
Me too,
95.
Man. I know.
Yeah. Half the time they're just sitting down singing
Still.
because they still can't.
They're still doing it.
But they're still going.
Still doing it. Yeah,
so
I cannot express how much those people inspire me to keep going. It's like, yeah, they're still doing it. And they're 40 years older than me, you know, or whatever. So, yeah, no, I completely get it, man. I completely get that. Yeah. And there might come a day where I can't throw my guitar over my head and run around and hit the microphone into my face.
Angus Young is really old.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. And everybody gives Lars Ulrich all kinds of crap and stuff, but it's like, and I mean, he's not the best drummer in the world, but man, he's like in his 60s. He's playing 2.5 hour shows on the drums.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
I don't know how to play the drums, but I know it's not
exactly.
easy.
That's what I mean, so yeah. So
I appreciate, there's a lot of, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but like the jazz musicians that are similar to like Sinatra and stuff.
Yes.
There's some of them from his time that are still performing, and they're like belting songs.
Oh yeah.
Doing 2-hour shows. And I'm like, how are you pulling this off still?
Yeah, it's for me, it's so inspiring. It's so inspiring. Yeah, did you guys see Sinners?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that was a really good movie.
So the old guy at the end is Buddy Guy. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's a real blues guy.
Yeah.
He's like pushing 90.
Yeah.
He still tours, still killing it. And like he's always been a big inspiration to me. I grew up on blues and Robert Johnson and all that kind of stuff. And but like there's a prime example right there. He's got a wireless and he goes and walks through the whole crowd at I mean it's just like, so what am I crying about? That's how I feel. It's like, yeah, I don't have the machine probably behind me that some of these bigger artists do and stuff, but it's like, what am I crying about, man? Shut up and put your guitar on, man. That's just, because at the end of the day, I mentioned in the intro, I wear all these hats, but at the end of the day, I just feel like a guitar player, man. You know what I mean? It's like, and I still think of myself as a little kid playing guitar, but yeah.
I am a huge fan of guitars. I'm not good at playing them.
Right. No, that's cool.
I love like guitars as a whole.
Awesome.
Do you have a favorite guitar?
I do.
Yeah.
So my favorite guitar was handmade for me. So I got, I would have brought it. So I got my first, I have multiple endorsements through companies and stuff. I'll pull a picture up for you. I had the guitar basically made, well, 2 of them technically, but made to my specs, all of my own specs. And it's kind of like, I mean, it's, imagine, if you were, if you were any profession and someone made you exactly what you wanted to all your specs to everything, it's like, so that guitar I call Soda. You guys, Outsiders. You guys know what the Outsiders? You guys are too young.
Book?
You know what it is? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
read the book.
Okay. So,
Love the book.
so this guitar I call Soda, which is after Soda Pop, and then my other guitar I call Pony. So all of my instruments are all named after the
Yeah,
Outsiders.
I love
But
the
that's-
Outsiders.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
my-
that is
Oh
nice.
yeah, I've seen that picture.
Yeah,
that is nice.
Yeah, it's got my signature on the neck. It is. Yeah, that is my absolute favorite guitar of all time. So much so that my plan is I'm going to have it cast in some kind of a resin, and that's going to be my headstone. Like, so my guitar, I want my guitar to be on display forever, like as my head. If there's a way for me to do that, So yeah, so that is my favorite. I can pretty much play anything. I like everything. I play a lot of ukulele now. I have a license plate guitar that was made from one of my mom's license plates. One of my best friends from kindergarten actually made that for me. But yeah, Soda is like that guitar is like, it's got my DNA in it now. I love it so much. Yeah, and it's 7-string. I play 7-string exclusively in idiedtrying. So yeah.
So my plan for when I die, it's changed since I got married because they already had plots and stuff.
Right.
But my plan was when I died was to have the head be an SG Gibson guitar with a camera on top of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, SG Gibson's my favorite guitar
Is
because
it?
of Angus Young.
Angus, yeah,
He's my
yeah.
favorite guitar.
Oh, okay, that's all, man. That's a solid one, man. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
My
that's
favorite
amazing.
is probably Ace Frehley's.
Oh,
Les
the Les Paul with the 3 pickups, the flames and all that.
It is nice.
Yeah.
He
I
sadly died.
just recently.
In the past year,
6 months or so ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, those choices right there are great because like those aren't just guitar players. There's spirit there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like even though Ace is passed now, that lives forever.
Yeah, I
you know,
can't remember
like,
the guy's name, but Ozzy's old guitarist had a really cool guitar too.
which one? So
Yeah, I was about to say.
Randy Rhodes.
No, he branched off and started a solo career.
Zach Wild.
Yeah, Zach Wild.
With the bullseye on
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
that was
that's
really
cool too. Yeah.
I love Les Pauls.
Oh, okay.
Just
yeah.
for the history of it, especially because
yeah.
Les Paul created the electric guitar.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was-
Yeah.
yeah.
As we know today, he's the
he
guy.
just
He's
made
the
it.
guy. Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. And could shred.
Yeah.
For like when you go back and you see footage of him, like it's black and white, super grainy, super old footage. I mean, he's playing as good as like anybody today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing,
Yeah, he was good.
unbelievable, amazing guitar player, amazing. Yeah.
I mean, for you to be able to make the electric guitar, you better be a good player.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You
man.
know?
He was amazing. Yeah, he was amazing. And there's another guy lived to be like 90 years old and was still playing. It's like totally inspiring dude. Yeah. And the thing about him that I always liked was the ingenious stuff, like the engineering of stuff, of thinking that out, figuring out pickups and figuring out. He was the first guy to come up with like looping. Where
Yeah.
he could play and then loop and
Yeah.
play on top of himself. He was that came from him too. I mean, and multi-track recording.
Yeah.
That was Les Paul.
Yeah, Les Paul was just
he
an
was
impressive guy.
Yeah, he had that
Yeah.
engineer brain, but an amazing musician though. Yeah, he's awesome. So.
I literally could talk about music all day.
Oh yeah, me too. No, it's cool.
I've been waiting
It's
for
cool.
a guest to just ask them what their favorite guitar is. So
Oh, yeah,
it's nice to have
man! I wish I
somebody.
would have known
Yeah.
that because I totally would have brought mine so you could see it. So if I ever do another episode, I'll bring it with me so you can check it out. Yeah, it's.
I do also love the ukulele because it's just really fun.
So
He only knows
Yeah.
one song.
I only know
but
one
it's
song
so
on the
fun.
ukulele.
So I bought one. I bought one on a whim for my girlfriend. We were at my girlfriend's parents' house, and she had taken guitar lessons when she was a kid, and it was too hard because she had little hands and blah blah blah. And her sister was like, "You could play the ukulele though," and in my brain, I was like, "She could play the ukulele." Because her birthday is in February. So I literally got right on Amazon right then and bought her a ukulele for her birthday. Well, I ended up writing songs on it before I gave it to her because I couldn't put it down. So then my birthday's a month later. So she bought me one last year. And yeah, it's sitting in my studio right by my chair. And so much I'm sitting there and waiting on a render. I'm like, I grab Soda a lot of the time, but a lot of times, man, I'm just grabbing my ukulele. I love it.
It's just such a fun
Oh,
instrument.
it's such
to
a
play.
fun instrument. Yeah.
So you said you started off with people in your band, and now you're just by yourself.
Correct.
Do you have goals of getting more members back into your band at some point?
No, probably not, man. I miss the hang of having other people, like, going to band practice and like having the hang. I miss that. I definitely miss having other people throwing money in because it's all me now. And I miss like jamming. There are certain aspects about it I miss, but at my age where I am now, and with technology where technology is now, especially, it's just not. It doesn't make sense to do it because here's the thing. I would have to find musicians who A, want to play the music I write, B, can play the music I write, which is a whole other thing, and then on top of that, people that I get along with. That's not easy, man. I mean, so when I lost my last lineup in 2013, technology had finally gotten to the point to where it was like I was able to do a version of it by myself. I probably, I'm planning on doing something next year where I'm bringing the majority of the people who were in the band previously. I'm going to bring them back because next year's the 25th anniversary. And we're going to do like a one show, big blowout kind of thing and another concert film out of that. But outside of that, no, probably not. But never say never, man. I mean, anything's possible. So right now, probably not though. I mean, it's there's no limitations now with writing music. The only limitations are is a person's creativity is their only limitation. And I'm fortunate in, if there's anything I'm gifted at, I think it's being able to be extremely creative within my own identity, as opposed to like a lot of people just borrow from other people's music or videos or whatever, podcasts. I mean, any, whatever their thing is. And I've been able to be extremely me. Thelonious Monk said the most true artist is the artist that's most like himself. So, and then honestly, it would be weird funneling the music through other people now. When I write something, if I hear it a certain way, can the other person play it? Is one. Do they even want to play it that way? There's all these variables and stuff that I don't have to deal with writing everything myself, so
That's kind of Dave Grohl's issue.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with the whole drumming and everything, he's been through drummers like crazy just because they don't do what he wants.
Yeah. With the Josh Freese thing, because Josh Freese is amazing. Honestly, I love Taylor Hawkins. And this dude that they got now, he's good too. And I love Dave and everything, but Josh is a better drummer than all of them. But he's not the best drummer for the Foo Fighters, clearly, because they hired him and fired him in like in a year. Was he a year? Like a year? Yeah, I was like, what, dude? You probably have the best rock drummer, arguably, on the planet. Like, what? But it's just not a fit. Because that's the big variable, man, is, you got to find somebody, A, who can play it, B, who wants to play it, but then there's that other thing of you got to get along with them. You got to have a vibe with these people, My music is so personal, man. My lyrics are so personal, having somebody that's can play the stuff and wants to play the stuff, but like I don't vibe with, it wouldn't work, man. It wouldn't work, so.
And I'm sure quality control is a little bit easier because if you mess something up, it's just on you. You can redo it. Like it's not.
Yeah, well, and
you don't have to rely on anybody else.
Once I program a drum beat, because I program all my drums, once I program a drum beat, that drum beat is perfect every time I play it. You know what I mean? It's not going to drop a drumstick. It's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to be tired because drums are hard, and especially drums in my songs, they're hard, and if somebody's not having a good day physically, the drums aspect of music can suffer. That's not just me, that's just in general. But it's that aspect of it's really, really nice. Cause it's, it's only on me, and the weird part is though, the thing about it that was really hard from the jump when I started playing shows, because this will be my 9th year since I started playing shows solo. And the other thing the thing about it that was the weirdest for me from the jump was when you're playing with other people, you're all kind of moving together. And if a drummer drops a drumstick or somebody gets behind beat or whatever, you can all just like correct it, and it's one of those things. The way I do it now, the band is going with me or without me. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's not like so it's like, so I'm, I've gotten now to where I'm really used to it, but it's one of those things where it's like, if I break a string, which I haven't, but if I, or something like that, if something goes wrong, band is going to keep going. You know what I mean? So that's kind of weird, but no, I can't, I can't see a situation for anything long-term where I would have other band members. I might write some stuff. The second drummer who was in my band, Brett, we've talked, we talk like every 6 months, 3 to 6 months or something. And, I could see us maybe writing some stuff together or, so I could see those kind of things. I've got quite a few friends that would jump into, we've always been a 2-piece or a 3-piece, but I got quite a few friends who play bass and rhythm guitar and stuff like that I'd love to bring in, so that kind of thing might happen. But as far as like long term, can't see it being a thing. It just would be such a headache now, And recording drums is a whole other problem. Whereas like, my drums, they sound the way when I write it, they sound perfect already. I don't have to mic a drum set and I don't have to, and it's like that's a whole other angle of it that would just make it a nightmare,
I've seen recording setups for drums that there's a microphone on each individual drum, and it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, when like the acoustic drum sounds in my drum program that I use, but all of them, if you look at any of them now, they sound as good or better than any studio you could afford to go to. Mm-hmm. So it's almost kind of like, why, so a lot of bands nowadays are not, they're programming drums. They have a live drummer, but their drums are either programmed or they're beat replaced. So when somebody hits their kick drum, it triggers a recorded sample versus like miking it, just because it's almost counterintuitive and it's almost working against you now to record the way people used to. It's almost a novelty, to do it that way. So
that's how 21 Pilots says.
Yeah. Played with them.
Did you really?
Yeah. So in Kettering, there was a club that was called the Attic, and when they were first starting out, they were doing shows there where it'd be like 4 or 5 bands or artists that were very, very different, and they were like one of them. They were really young at the time. So yeah, but yeah, similar situation though. Yeah,
because I believe Tyler does everything, and then just asks Joss if he can play it.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah, which is cool.
Yeah,
awesome. They found something that they found a way to work. There's a lot of bands that are doing it that way now. Yeah. But yeah, like for me, if I brought band members back in, I would want it to be extremely collaborative because I don't get to do that now. It's all me. But I also want it to be what I want. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I want it to be collaborative, but I get final say kind of a thing it would be a nightmare, man.
Just doing it solo, you're recording something you want to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And if I'm like, I want this to do insert thing here, I can do it. And there's not another person going, I don't like that too much. It's like, man, I don't have to deal with any of that, So that's kind of nice. Yeah. I champion one-man bands a lot because I feel like it is the most unfiltered. Because if you write something, it goes through a funnel with other people, and it goes through a funnel. And when you record it, and it goes, doing a one-man band thing, it's just you. And if you do it the way I do it, and you don't bring anybody else in, it's from like my brain and my hands to the world, and there's no. It's not going through somebody else's funnel. It's just straight from me, which is something I really, really love that aspect because you're getting the truest form of the artist. And then you get their limitations too, where it's like, you might not be able to do this certain thing, but you get more from you doing your version of this certain thing, if that makes sense. So, but yeah. So, yeah.
So since you do all of it yourself, do you take any consideration into what the audience would want to hear or feel when you're writing your music?
No, probably not. I mean, I've kind of been fortunate that, and I've kind of built a small cult-like following, where people just like what I want to do. You know what I mean? So no, I don't. I mean, I'm picturing like somebody's reaction to when I write something. Like I picture people's reaction when they hear it. Like, and a lot of times it makes me laugh because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm killing this. I can't wait for people to hear it. You know, like that kind of a thing. I'll think that, but I don't like write going. I'm trying to fit like a. I'm not trying to write I Die Trying music. What I write is I Die Trying music. You know what I mean? So, but I know a lot of people do that way. You know,
like famously, Queen wrote a whole song just for the audience interaction and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
And I think there's a lot of musicians nowadays that will mention that if they write an album, they need to write a song that they know people would want to hear on the radio.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, I'm going to write everything that I want to write, and then there has to be one song on the album that they can play on a radio station, and everybody will like it.
Yeah, so. That fits like their fans.
Yeah.
That we're going to give them this. If nothing else, there's that one song that fits what they expect from us or whatever, you know. So yeah. So luckily I don't have that, you know. I don't really have any restraints like that or whatever, you know. So yeah, because I mean, I've got plans to do ukulele music and music with my license plate guitar and more electronic stuff. I mean, you know, and all of that I can call I Die Trying, and all of that might be there might be some people who only like that stuff and don't really care for, you know, I mean, but I've created a umbrella for myself that like basically anything I put out is that, you know, so no, I never ever like sit down and try to write to fit like that one song, you know, like you said. Yeah.
I think most artists, like some of the best music is the weird stuff that they just tried.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Man. I completely agree with that. Yeah, because as I mentioned before, I stumble into so much stuff where it's like, I never meant for that. Like, I didn't sit and write that. Like, that just kind of happened. And then that becomes the catalyst for something, you know, and it's just like, oh, yeah. I'm kind of spiritual, weird about some stuff. And it's just kind of like when something weird happens, I feel like that's the universe giving you a gift kind of a thing. So I think if you don't pay attention to that, I think it's I just don't think that's a positive thing. You know, I think it's, you know, like I have a guitar solo in one of my songs where I was like sitting at my desk and I was recording, just full on live recording, and a spider ran across my keyboard. And like if I go back and I listen to that solo, I can hear the point that I see the spider and stuff like that, you know. But it's like, does that one part get a little weird? Yes, but it's like, but the spirit of that being captured forever, I just love that, you know. So yeah, you know, but yeah, I'm fortunate in that, man, where I don't have to fit a mold, you know, for people to like it, you know. It's just, you know, what I do is what I do, and people follow along, you know. I feel like I lost a lot of people when it became a one-man band thing, but I've gained way more. So like the people that come to my shows now, overwhelmingly never saw me with band members. The overwhelming majority, at least 75%, never saw me when I Die Trying had band members and stuff. So, you know, which is cool, you know. Kind of my slogan I've always said was like, make your own scene. Like, don't try to fit into anybody else's. And like, I've absolutely successfully done that, you know. So, and
I think if you want to do well with music, you need to have a new audience every so often.
Yeah.
Like your audience has to grow.
Yeah. And you know, and you lose some people and you gain other people, and that's just the ebb and flow of it, you know. And yeah, 100%, man, 100%. So,
who's your all-time favorite artist?
Impossible to answer. Give me some structure to that, and I can give you some answers. Did
you have like a favorite artist growing up? Like when you were young that really got you into music? Prince?
Really? Yes. Prince is my number one probably across the board, believe it or not. Yeah. I would say Prince. Purple Rain, namely Purple Rain, the movie, was because you got the visual with again, going back to the film thing, I got the visual with the music. The first record I ever bought with my own money was Purple Rain, vinyl record too.
When I walk, we have like our corporate offices in Minnesota.
Oh,
all the time I'm hearing from the people that live in Minnesota how much they love Prince.
Yeah, dude.
Because they have like a small museum there and everything.
Yeah. So the museum is where he passed. That's where his recording studio is. That's Paisley Park is yeah. So that's on my bucket list. I have to go visit. I haven't been there yet, but I'm going to go. But yeah, I would say Prince. But there, I mean, again, that's one of those things where when you say that one artist kind of thing, it would be Prince. But God, there's so many, man. Been influenced by, like you said, you could talk about music forever. It's like, it's like there's just so many, man.
It is a tough question because a lot of the time I'll have a favorite artist like for a genre.
Yes.
Not overall.
You see, for me, it's even worse. For me, I'll have a favorite artist from a genre from a certain time period. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like they're my favorite from this time period. It's So yeah, like Mount Rushmores and like those kind of things. Man, my stuff's always changing. Like if you ask me what my Mount Rushmore is of guitar players or my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, It's that's always kind of changing or whatever. So yeah, that's a tough question. Even like a top 5 is very hard. Yeah. It's very, very hard.
Well, if that's a tough question, what's your favorite movie?
1978 Halloween.
Why that one specifically?
So that was the most important movie of my entire life, without a doubt. So my mom was a giant horror movie fan. The first movie I ever saw in a movie theater, not Star Wars, not Bambi, not stuff that we would see as kids, was Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. That was the first movie I ever saw in a movie theater, ever. My head was too small for the glasses, so my mom put my little red hooded sweatshirt up like Kenny McCormick, and she shoved the side pieces in, so the glasses were all big on my face and stuff. But yeah, so Halloween was like my mom's favorite scary movie, and in turn became like my favorite scary movie, and in turn became my favorite movie because of the atmosphere, the music. I'm a giant John Carpenter fan. That's the most singular important piece of art, if you will, and as far as that weighs on my life to this day. Is the 78 Halloween, definitely. But again, I could start rattling on. I could talk about movies probably more than I can even talk about music. So, but yeah, Halloween would be is my number one. It's not my most watched film, but it's my favorite film.
What's the most watched?
American Movie. You guys ever seen American Movie?
I don't even think I've ever
I think
heard
it
of
sounds familiar. I don't know.
If you look up, you saw the cover. So it's about if you have your phone, pull it up.
Look it up.
Yeah. If you see the poster, you might recognize the guys because they've been on like Family Guy and stuff like that. It's basically a documentary about a guy who's making a movie in Wisconsin. It came out in 1999.
I think I've seen this.
Add it to your list. I think it's on Tubi. It's on Prime and stuff, I think, for free. Add it to your list. Yeah, that's my most watched. So when I'm editing video, a lot of times I throw that movie on. It's just on in the background, and I'm like editing. It's like inspiring. So yeah.
I have an awful thing where when I'm editing, I'm watching a YouTube video. So I have like my big headphones on and then an earbud in, and it makes it so hard to edit. I don't know why I do it.
Oh, well, I was going to say, well, then why do you do it?
I don't know why I do it. It's every time I edit, I have a second.
See, it makes me work better to have like something like that on. But see, I don't have an earbud in though either.
I have an earbud, and every so often I have to take it out to see if the audio is balanced in the left ear.
Wow.
So it's a mess.
Well, how long have you been doing that?
For like probably 6 months now. I always have an earbud in when I edit. Yeah.
But hey, man, it's your process, man.
I mean,
it's your process. Yeah, that's funny though.
Is there an album that you think someone should check out if they want to start getting into creating music?
Oh, God, these questions. If they want to start creating music, I would say, because it's so subjective, I would say whatever record or whatever music in general most moves you to want to create with your own voice. So it's a subjective thing. So like I could say the albums, I could say Purple Rain was mine. because I think it's a perfect record. But if somebody doesn't like Prince, it doesn't. You know what I mean? So like, so that's it's a. I could give a lot of examples of records that I feel like are motivational and inspiring for people to create. But again, if they don't like the music, it's just kind of like, because there's a lot of obscure artists I could list off that, you know, but again, it's one of those things. I think the most important thing probably in that regard though would be to listen to stuff where people were experimenting and it wasn't so Pro Tool the way things are now. And so, you know, it's finding stuff where people recorded stuff themselves, experimented in the studio, experimented in the writing process. Because that always gets my creative juices going, you know, is when you can hear somebody stumbling into something. You know, I'd find that totally inspiring, you know. So as far as singular artist, Daniel Johnston is one that like I would tell people to look into because he was recording most of the stuff himself on a boombox. I say Robert Johnson, early blues, but again, it was so primitive. Today is the Day is a band that's been around about 30 years. They're experimental metal band. Prince. See, the thing about Prince, really, you could choose most Prince. He's playing everything on a lot of that stuff. Nine Inch Nails. There's another one, you know, stuff where guys are creating. So I think finding stuff where somebody's being extremely creative would be the most thing. And that is stuff that inspires you to hear it, you know, which is all subjective. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't like modern country, but if modern country is like the thing that you like the best, you should seek something out there. So.
See, AC/DC, obviously, I bring them up a lot. One of my favorite all-time bands.
Oh, yeah.
But
What's your favorite AC/DC song?
Oh, The Razor's Edge.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
That was like their first one where they were like, we're going to get really dark.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a Brian fan over. So that's interesting. Because most people aren't. I mean, everybody loves Brian, but that's cool, man.
I mean, they both did such a great job.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, once you realize that those two aren't even the like original singers of AC/DC.
I know. Yeah.
Deeper.
Yeah, I think AC/DC is the best example of changing a singer that was like equally on par.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Bon Scott rules, and like my favorite AC/DC is. See, I like the Brian stuff too, but my favorite AC/DC song is a Bon song. But like, they just stayed.
Which song?
It's called "Walk All Over You."
Yeah,
that's my favorite, and it's kind of a more obscure one. But that's my favorite AC/DC song. Yeah, it's great. Right. I like "Night Prowler." Mm-hmm. I like. There's a bunch of them, man. There's a whole bunch.
I mean, honestly, I love all their songs.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I even like the more recent stuff. I think it's even great. You know, like they're that band that's like, you know what you're gonna get. They're not gonna really wane from that at all, and it's gonna be good. You know, it's ZZ Top's another one. It's just the same. You know what you're going to get. It's not really going to be much different, you know, so. But
I think AC/DC was the first time I heard a band specifically be able to have like the guitar in the right ear and then the other guitar in the left ear. Yeah. And just like completely splitting up the music.
Yeah.
And because like I used to just listen to a whole bunch of stuff with my headphones and everything like crazy. But they were the first ones where I actually heard like splitting everything up. Yeah. And then I was like, well, this is a really cool Well, it's really popular now. Obviously. Yeah. But like for me, especially like third grade when I was listening to AC/DC, I was like, well, this is really cool.
Oh yeah. You know? Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're a phenomenal band. Band I've never seen. Have you seen them live?
No,
I have not seen them live either. Yeah, I've never seen.
Like I've got action figures for Christmas that were AC/DC. Yeah, bawled my eyes out for hours over this stuff. Yeah, and I'm just like, I still haven't seen them. We were actually going to go see them the other year, but we went to Incarceration instead.
Oh, okay, I remember that. Yeah,
I'm upset about.
The best band I've seen live was Whitesnake. I saw Whitesnake
live.
I'm
a giant Whitesnake fan.
I hadn't heard much of their music before. I have a friend that's a big fan of Whitesnake, and he just asked if I wanted to go. And I went and I'm like, they are really good.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and all their songs are really good.
Like, the performance was incredible.
Yeah, where'd you see them at?
I think in Dayton.
Okay.
Or Huber Heights. I think Huber
At the
Heights.
Rose?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw them in Huber Heights.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
they just put on an incredible show.
Oh,
They don't like this. I'm not a huge live music guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
we
'cause
hate
it's
that.
really
No,
loud.
that's cool. I understand hating it, but yeah, no, I get it.
But
Why?
Whitesnake did a good job. I don't like loud
People?
noises and crowds and stuff like
Gotcha.
that. So
Okay.
It just stresses me out.
Yeah, no, that's
Like,
fair.
it's cool to see somebody do it.
Yeah.
I told them my dream is like a silent disco, but for a concert. You know, you wear headphones,
Yeah.
but you just get to
Have it at your own volume.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah,
Like, I get it.
but you don't have to mingle because you got the headphones on, so you're in your own world.
Yeah,
I get it.
I think that would be
I
cool.
get the pre-stress and like the after-stress.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those guys, like when like I'm watching something, my full
You get
focus
immersed into
goes-
it. Yeah. That's how I am too.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I completely understand. Yeah, I got tons of social anxiety and stuff, so I fully understand both sides of that. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
If someone was to discover you today, is there like a song or anything that you would recommend they start with?
I would probably say Field Day Participant because like that's what I have jokingly referred to as my radio song because that's like my like if there was going to be one that would have been played on the radio, it's that one. But it kind of depends on where they're coming from. The song that closes my last record is a song called Throwing Knives, which is a song I talked about was the bump the mic, which is a song I talked about was the sequel to Swallowing Swords, a song I used to close with. That's another great one, but it's 28 minutes and 13 seconds long. So it's like, you got to like really dedicate time to be able to get through that one. But I think anything off of my latest record, Glabler's another good, introduction to what I do. Beware Them Weirdos is like fun. I mean, there's really not one, but probably Field Day Participant probably. Cause like I said, that's the most, widely digestible, I feel like, songs that I've done, and the video is great too. So that's probably everybody's favorite video I've done thus far, I would say too. So yeah.
So what's next for you as either a musician or an actor?
So I have a new single coming out tomorrow. So by the time this comes out, that will already have been out like for a month or so. So new single coming out, Heart Forward. My new single, new music video. I'm gonna have another concert film I'm gonna work on, and then keep on working. I'm gonna do I'm gonna try to do at least a couple more shows this year. I'm doing Nosferatu live again in September. So basically, just kind of keep on keeping on, man. I don't really know with this new song. I don't know if because what I do is I release singles, and then when I feel like I've gotten to an album, then it becomes an album. I don't know that I'm doing that right now. I feel like Heart Forward is like a song that could have / should have been on my last record that came out last year. Because I wrote the riff as an opening riff to my record release show, and then it became the song. But yeah, man, mostly just gonna continue doing what I'm doing. Working with my record label. I've got a couple different artists I work with on my label. They've got music they're working on. I'm toying with the idea of getting more into scoring films and doing that kind of stuff. I really like doing it. Just creating, man. I'm just gonna continue to lean into creating. That's pretty much my goal for ever. So yeah.
The random jellyfish passion that drives people.
There you go. Yeah.
And then do you have like a final message to anyone out there that would like to chase something creative?
Yeah, do it. If there are people in your life that is in the way of that, disregard their opinion, and just follow your heart and your gut. And use your brain, but follow your heart and your gut, and take it serious. I think that's the thing that I feel like maybe isn't said enough. Is I talked about the behind the microphone, the responsibility. There's a responsibility that comes with creating that you should take extremely serious. And the most important thing too, for me, especially in my career with this, if you want to call it a career, is being unapologetically yourself. That's the thing, which, I mean, you guys are, the jellyfish thing, you know what I mean? Like, this is you guys being you, doing what you want to do and being creative. That's what everybody should do is find and find your thing, find your identity, find out who you are, and just run with it, man, and if people don't like it, you keep doing what you're doing and people will like it. There's people out there. There's so many people that like so many different things. It's just sometimes it takes time. I've been doing this is my 24th year doing idiedtrying. I've been playing shows for 35 years or something now, I think, or something like that, 33 or something. I don't even know now. And I'm not famous. I'm not, but I have a little cult following that loves what I do. And I think that's honestly cooler, and I think the most important thing, man, is sincerity and doing stuff from your heart, and not. I don't think people should tailor what they write to fit into a thing. Write from your heart, and what you write, and the people will come to you. So that's. I could go on and on for a long time about that one, man. So that's pretty much how I feel about it. I'm living proof that you can follow your heart and your gut, and good things will happen. Good things will happen to you. So.
Well, thank you so much for being on the Jellyfish.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for having me. This was really, really fun, really cool. Yeah, we could definitely do more because I have so many stories.
Plenty more.
Yeah, so many stories.
Check them out.
yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys for having me.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Bye.
Bye.